It's 5:30. I will call the regular meeting of Monday, July 8th, 2024 to order. We have roll call. Scott.
Here.
Beauregard.
Here.
Kramer. Here. Grimes. Here. Stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, first up on the agenda is the consent agenda, which are routine items that have already been discussed by the council. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Motion, is there a second? Aye.
Stu.
Oh,
You got it.
sure. So there's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 4, approval of the city council. Sorry, that's part of the consent agenda. I guess the business forum, is there anyone who would like to speak tonight? No, we'll go on to 8, reports from staff. City Administrator Lennox.
The contractor should be back to finish the Midway area late this week or early next week and hopes to get the fencing up for around the ports prior to Water Carnival. We have also requested an audit extension due to Transmedics billing for the EMS department and software conversion that took place in the clerk's office. And so you will see that audit a little later than normal.
All right, thank you. We have EMS Director Olmsted.
I have a bunch of agenda items tonight, but Cody and I finished our community paramedic and are in the process of upgrading our licenses.
All right, thank you. City Attorney, Joel, do you have anything?
I don't.
Counselor Kramer,
Nothing tonight.
Counselor Beauregard, excuse me,
Nothing today.
Counselor Scott,
Nothing tonight.
and I have nothing tonight either. 10-1 old business, Birchwood Terrace Park.
I utilized the numbers from the arena project to give you a rough cost of the project repayment plan. Prior to the meeting, Councilor Beauregard and I were speaking, and he was also interested in knowing about pricing for the property and if that is a fair price for the property or not. And if that's something everyone's interested in, I can do a little bit of research as to the cost of other trailer parks, and I can definitely bring that back to the next meeting.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful to gather all the information before we make any decision to know if it's a fair market value or not.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like me to bring back to that meeting?
I mean, like, essentially, we're buying a business, so I'd like to see some more numbers around that. If we split it up and sold it as homes, how many lots would we reasonably fit in there? What would the lots roughly sell for? And what would the tax revenue be on that? If we left it as a trailer park, how many active rentals are there? What are the lots fees on that? And then if we converted it to yearly campsite with hookups, what would we reasonably be able to charge and how many lots would there be?
I can do the last two. The first one, you need to engage with an engineer. As far as doing an RLS for the entire area. That's, you know, they do like a engineering study and talk about the land and how many lots they put in, what the roads would look like. I can definitely look into the current cost profit of the park as is. And then if we were to sell those current lots, what we can sell those for is like seasonal or permanent campsites. I can do that kind of work.
Okay.
But reorganizing the whole property is not something that we able to do in-house.
How many lots are there now here? You know?
I don't know, but I don't know how many are in use either. I know it's fairly empty. And there's a lot of trailers that are vacant.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do we know the acreage of the property?
It's just over 20 acres.
And would we also want to have a discussion of other ideas?
Right.
Another thought for this, Sherry, you've been on the RAMS committee for housing. Would this be a potential site for companies looking to build housing projects or?
We're actually meeting with developers next week in Grand Rapids, at their meeting, and asking them questions about what they're looking for, what our area has to offer. We can certainly put it on our list of potential sites and see, I mean, their questions, I'm sure, are about infrastructure, about, they want shovel ready, so it's not something that's ready, but I can definitely ask them, like, here's a potential site, what would your questions or your feedback be on it? And see what they think. Is it considered lakeshore property just because of that back lot is on the lake side? or not?
That's the sliver out there.
Okay.
So. I think it could be potentially, but
Alright, well, I think we can,
I would table it and double.
yeah, I can table that information and revisit again. Alright. Next, we have new business, 11.1, request regarding employee leave. Is there any background on this, Becky, or it's just a request to, Becky, this memo of understanding?
I don't know if there's anything that Mel would like to add to the packet information regarding
No,
that.
I think you pretty much nailed it. So this is her second surgery this year. So she's she's only been this little water carnival, I think will be her starting her second year. Right? Yeah. So she doesn't have any more accumulated sick time, vacation, comp, etc. To get her through her next surgery.
I would say that if the memorandum is good to approve tonight, Mitch reviewed it. But if you do want to do a donation, I would recommend, having me write a policy. That way it's consistent across the entire city. And if this situation were to come up in the future, it would be utilized in that way. You have had an employee get donated time before vacation time previously. It was many years ago and no policy was written at that time.
But it's, I know the state does have a policy on that, that's perfectly legal for you guys to donate time to her. If we wanted to pursue that too.
This is my opinion, I'm more inclined to go with the first option. It's a pretty high stress job, I think. Time off is important, so to see the rest of the employees. It's a good thing to do.
I would like to see her earn it as well. I mean, if she falls short after, there's a lot of vacation time in July she can pick up and get.
As far as comp time shifts.
Right,
Yes,
she needed the comp time to use towards that, and then if she needs more after that, then we'll probably deal with that. We're also contemplating changing the schedule a little bit to assist with her being on. And when she comes back, kind of putting her on light duty and using her as the brains of the operation and not the brawn. And we'll stick to two EMTs on with her. So we're trying to get creative, but I would like to see her be able to earn some comp time to be able to use for that.
Okay, so yeah, this memo that we have in front of us just allows her to be able to earn extra, comp time by picking up these extra hours. Are there any other questions from the council before we?
Is this something that you talk with the union about a later date or?
Yep, so what will happen is if the council approves this memorandum today, I will sign it, Sherry and I will sign it and email it to Amanda Mesa. If she finds it acceptable, which, you know, is benefiting the employee, so they traditionally just sign it and send it back.
Oh,
Would this set like a precedence then moving forward for other employees?
No, that's why we did it as a memorandum of
Okay.
understanding,
Yeah.
rather than change the contract.
Okay.
There's no other discussion, I'll take the motion to accept the memo of understanding.
I'll make that motion.
Then a motion, for your support,
Also,
and a motion and a support, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Going to sign that after the meeting, or meeting, okay. 11.2 is Essentia Health request regarding medical director for the Emergency Medical Services Department.
Yeah, Dr. Dravenich kind of put in a little bio here, like you said, Dr. People is still employed with Essentia, but he's kind of moving to more administrative duties. He's not barely coming up to Aurora anymore. So Essentia is kind of putting all their ambulance services that they are giving medical direction to under one or two doctors. And, Dr. Dravenich has accepted the position with us. I did send him Dr. People's current contract that we have with him. And as far as he said, it's fine, he was gonna forward it to legal at Essentia, so we'll probably know next year, but.
All right, is there a motion to accept Dr. Dravenich as our new emergency medical director?
I have a question for Bill. Is there opportunities to meet these doctors or?
Sure, this one, I think is will be like really involved, so.
Okay.
He's pretty excited, like he wants to come on call. But,
Is that different? That's you.
Not for us.
Different.
yeah, so yeah, he's pretty excited, yeah. Yeah, so well, I can let you know, he's gonna be pretty involved in our trainings. So I can let you know when he comes, and
Sure.
if you wanna come down and meet him for sure.
Are there any other questions about the change? If not, I'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
The motion, is there a second?
That's great.
Support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. 11.3 is Zamboni operator hiring.
You hire seasonally for Zamboni operators every year, and so this is just that annual hiring for that seasonal part-time position.
This is just a call for application.
Yep.
Posted. I'll make that motion to post for these positions.
There's been a motion, is there a second?
I'll support.
we'll be to it.
All right, motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. 11.4, resolution 2024-015, accepting donation from New Range Copper.
The city received a $19,000 donation from New Range Copper Nickel. 15 of that was towards the Midway project. They were specifically really excited about the disc golf course. And then 4,000 of that was for a library application, which Sue has been pushing out since that donation was received.
All right, so it's nice to get donations, so is there a motion to accept the donation from New Range?
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion, is there support?
Or,
Motion and support, all those in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. 11.5, changes to the earned sick and safe time.
So in true state of Minnesota fashion, they implemented the earned sick and safe time law last year, and then they changed it this year. And so, previously, we had that discussion that paid on call firefighters and EMTs were eligible and earning earned sick and safe time. The law changed to say that they are exempted from earning earned sick and safe time. And so that means that the city can either choose to continue to allow them to earn that, even though state law no longer requires it. Or you can choose to terminate that program for them. There's no employment contract, there's no negotiation that has to happen, it's a decision of the council. And I would recommend terminating that as of midnight on the 20th, which is the end of the date. So there's no accruing parts of shifts that kind of thing.
So if we did that, they would have to use all their, by the 20th.
No, so they would just maintain their balance until it went to zero. There would be no payout option or anything. So, you know, if you had 20 hours in there, you would just keep that 20 hours and if you use it, you use it. If you don't, you don't.
So initially this was instituted because the state kind of mandated us to. It's not something that the employees really asking for or advocating for. It's we have.
We have to.
Right.
With the changes, do other employees follow this as well?
Elected officials, airline employees, elected officials hadn't been accruing it because some guidance from the Department of Labor and Industry indicated that they weren't eligible for it when the initial law came out, so we hadn't been accruing for elected officials. We don't have any other employees that fall under any other exemptions.
Yeah, as long as we're not removing a benefit that's been agreed to in their contract and they still get to use what they've earned to date. And I would recommend just following the state guidelines and moving along as they,
I don't think there's very many that have accumulated very many hours anyway, so it's not a benefit that's gonna greatly benefit them.
any other discussion on the topic? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the guidelines by the state of Minnesota to not accrue the ESST for paid on-call firefighters and ambulances.
I'll make the motion to discontinue it as of 7/20/2024.
All right, is there a motion? Is there a second? I'll second that. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
You were on the line.
Yes, yes.
Late I move to pass, sorry.
Yes.
All right, 11.6 request regarding the city utility bill 2017-31410.
The city received a letter regarding a business in town. They had a running toilet. And so their utility bill was higher for that time period. We bill commercial customers quarterly. And so the explanation is in your packet regarding previous bills and then, what the cost came out to be for that project.
So the commercial properties, like you said, they just get billed a flat fee
So
quarterly and then,
yes, so every month they pay their garbage fees and then quarterly they're billed for their water and sewer usage for that entire quarter. And so they go out and they do meter reads. And so either you make the minimum usage or you don't. And so if you don't make minimum usage, like Minnesota Power is a really easy one, they use hundreds of thousands of gallons of water. And so they get billed a lot for their usage. Whereas somewhere like the property in question, they don't make that minimum, and so they get charged a minimum gallon usage per quarter. And so this one, she did increase over the minimum usage, so she does have a bill bigger than traditional for her property.
is there any further questions or discussion from the council?
Business looks like they're pretty close to meeting the threshold all the time.
Yeah.
Could there been a request like this before and then? That's what we got.
Many years ago, not since then.
Yeah, a little torn, I mean, she wasn't using. There was an issue with her, you know, the toilet in her building, but. I mean, with the water still being used. you know, we're still going through the system, I'm not sure, I'm open to discussion on what anyone else thinks about it.
There's a lot of other leaks throughout the city that cause more physical damage than this, but it just happened after the meter in this case.
I guess it's not something that I'm opposed to, we can help and support a residential business in town.
Yeah, and some of these are case by case basis, like you said, we haven't seen these come up, it's not like we get these requests all the time and we're constantly adjusting the water usage. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt to help out a business once in a while when they make that special request or something like that. So if we could take them case by case and not set a precedence for everyone asking for usage, just kind of feeling on it, I guess.
I'll make a motion to reduce the city utility bill by the amount, that difference at 154. By nine.
There's been a motion, is there a second to approve the request?
All for it.
Motion and support, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Then request is granted. That brings us to number 12, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn? There's a motion, a second? I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is adjourned, thank you.